Y'all, it is hot out here. So I can talk about tomatoes all day long, but until I really show you what I'm talking about, for some of you it may not make sense. For some of you that are real familiar with tomatoes, it probably does. But I talk about pruning tomatoes all the time and pinching off the suckers. So I'm going to show you what the suckers are and exactly what that looks like on the plants, so that if you decide that pruning your tomatoes is what you would like to do, then you'll know exactly how to do it and you'll know exactly which stalks to prune. So let me turn the camera around. Okay, so this is my black strawberry tomato. And let me see if I can get an angle on this that's gonna look right. So if you look down here, this is on the very bottom of this tomato. You see this little L right here. This is what they look like. They grow in the armpit of tomatoes. And this one already has more than one. It has that one. It has this one. It has a little tiny one starting here. It has another one right there. So this is a cherry tomato. Pruning cherry tomatoes is controversial. Some people say to prune them, some people say not to. I do prune mine some. I do not prune every sucker, but I do prune a lot of them because last year I had some cherry tomatoes that I grew and they really got huge toward the end of the year whenever I got tired of pruning them. So if you don't prune them some, they're really going to get away from you. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So for the small suckers, you can just pinch them right off. They'll come right off pretty easy. For the suckers that are this big, sometimes once they get that big, you may want to leave them alone. I'm not going to leave that one alone because it is, just because my plant is still fairly small and I don't want any more energy going into this. I want energy going into root development is where I really want that energy going right now. So let me see if I can focus in on this. So this is the first sucker that I'm going to prune, and you need to be careful so that you don't damage the rest of your plant when you're pruning. Now when you prune off these suckers, if you want to, you can take these and put them in water or put them even in soil and keep them very moist, and you can actually grow another plant from those. Don't let them get too big though before you decide to do that, or they don't do as well. So there's one sucker, and I am actually going to keep the bottom of mine trimmed off. There's another really small one growing right here. I just pinched that one off. There's one right here. I think I'm going to let that one grow. And there's also already, let me see if I can focus in on that. Some kind of eggs already on these. So I will take my gloved fingers. I will not use my bare fingers. Sometimes I do, but I don't really like to. I'll take my gloved fingers and just wipe those away. You can also take a water hose and spray those off. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but if they're laying eggs on my plant, I don't want them there. I suspect it's aphids. Anyway, so that's how I do my tomato plants. Now, I have also trimmed off those lower two branches of this tomato. It just helps to make a healthier plant when you keep the bottom trimmed off. It helps to keep the soil from splashing back up on it. And the lower limbs do not get enough sun to matter once the top of this plant starts developing anyway, so they don't really do any good. that's about all there is to trimming your tomato plants. I also try to keep the bottom portion of the tomato trimmed off. Anything that is brown, I trim it off. I like for them to be lush and green and beautiful. So anything that does not look healthy, I also trim that off. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. If you like the content that I do, please like and share my videos to help support my channel. I hope you all have a great night. God bless you.